Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Duolingo English Test Practice channel. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most challenging yet common sections of the test, the fill in the blanks task. Let's start by understanding exactly what this task involves. In the Duolingo English Test, you'll encounter about 6 to 9 fill in the blanks questions that appear consecutively in each test session. For each question, you'll have only 20 seconds to respond. Yes, that's right, just 20 seconds. So being prepared and knowing how to approach these questions efficiently is absolutely crucial. What does this task require? Simply put, you need to complete a sentence with the correct missing word. The prompt will appear on your screen, and as soon as it does, the timer starts counting down those precious 20 seconds. Now, let's discuss the proper approach to these questions. The instructions are straightforward but incredibly important. First, you must read the entire sentence to understand its context. Many test takers make the mistake of immediately trying to fill in the blank without reading the whole sentence, which often leads to incorrect answers. Take those first few seconds to absorb the complete meaning of the sentence. Then, once you understand the context, focus on the missing word and use contextual clues to determine the correct answer. The surrounding words and the overall meaning of the sentence will guide you to the right choice. Let me share with you 7 key strategies that will significantly improve your performance on this task. Strategy number 1. Understand the overall context. This means carefully reading the entire sentence before attempting to fill in the blank. It's essential that you grasp the meaning and context of the sentence as a whole. This creates a mental framework that helps you predict what word would naturally fit in the blank. Strategy number 2. Pay attention to keywords and phrases. Focus on the content words in the sentence. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. These words often provide valuable hints about what word would logically complete the sentence. Look for patterns of meaning, relationships between ideas, or contrasting concepts that might suggest what belongs in the blank. Strategy number 3. Apply logical reasoning and common sense. Sometimes, the best approach is simply to use logic and your general knowledge to deduce the most appropriate word. Ask yourself, what word would make this sentence make sense? Your intuition as a language user can be surprisingly accurate. Strategy number 4. Analyze grammar. Take a moment to evaluate the grammatical structure of the sentence. This will help you determine what type of word is required. Is it a noun, a verb, an adjective, or something else? Is it singular or plural? Present tense or past tense? These grammatical considerations can narrow down your options significantly. Strategy number 5. Leverage knowledge of word roots and affixes. If you encounter unfamiliar vocabulary, use your understanding of prefixes, suffixes, and word roots to infer meaning. For example, knowing that pre means before and post means after can help you deduce the meaning of words like prehistoric or postgraduate. This knowledge becomes particularly valuable when dealing with academic or specialized vocabulary. Strategy number 6. Expand your vocabulary. This is a long-term strategy, but absolutely essential. Regularly practice and work on expanding your vocabulary to improve your ability to complete sentences accurately. Read widely across different genres and topics. When you encounter new words, don't just learn their definitions. Understand how they're used in context, what connotations they carry, and how they relate to other words you know. Consider using vocabulary apps, flashcards, or word-of-the-day calendars to steadily build your word bank. Strategy number 7. Practice regularly. There's simply no substitute for consistent practice with similar questions. The more you expose yourself to fill in the blanks exercises, the more patterns you'll recognize and the faster you'll be able to process information and select the correct answer. Try to simulate test conditions during your practice sessions. Give yourself only 20 seconds per question to build that time pressure resilience. Now, let's look at some examples to see these strategies in action. Example question 1 focuses on understanding context. Imagine you see this sentence. The impact of something as a force that undermines social cohesion is counteracted by acts of kindness. It can be interpreted as The impact of something that destroys social cohesion is offset by acts of kindness. Before attempting to fill in the blank, you need to carefully read the entire sentence to ensure you understand its context. In the analysis, we can see that the blank should be filled with a word representing a negative quality, as it contrasts with kindness. The word wickedness fits this context perfectly, meaning evil, and completes the sentence coherently. So the full answer would be, the impact of wickedness as a force that undermines social cohesion is counteracted by acts of kindness. See how understanding the overall context and recognizing the contrast helped identify the correct word? Let's look at example question 2, which focuses on keywords. Here, you might see a sentence like, an election winner is determined when the votes for one candidate something the votes for the other candidates. It means that when one candidate's votes do something to the votes of other candidates, the election winner is determined. In this case, you need to identify content words in the sentence, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, as they often hint at the missing word. The keywords here are votes, candidates, and winner. These imply a comparison of numbers in an election context. The analysis shows that these keywords suggest the winning candidate has more votes than others. The word outnumber, meaning to exceed in number, fits the context perfectly. So the complete answer is, an election winner is determined when the votes for one candidate outnumber the votes for the other candidates. Notice how focusing on the key content words led directly to the appropriate verb for this context. Beyond these specific strategies, let me share some additional tips to help you enhance your vocabulary for this task. Read extensively in English, novels, newspapers, academic articles, blogs. Everything helps. When you encounter new words, try to understand them from context before looking them up. Watch English language movies, TV shows, and YouTube videos with English subtitles. This helps you connect written words with their pronunciation and usage in natural speech. Create word association networks. When you learn a new word, connect it to related words, synonyms, antonyms, and different forms of the same word. For example, if you learn analyze, also learn analysis, analytical, and analyst. Group words by themes or topics. Learn vocabulary related to specific areas like environment, technology, or education. This contextual learning helps you remember words better and understand how they're typically used. Use spaced repetition techniques. Don't try to memorize hundreds of words in one sitting. Instead, review them at increasing intervals to strengthen your long-term memory. Practice word formation exercises. Take a root word and create as many related words as possible by adding different prefixes and suffixes. This builds your understanding of word structure and meaning relationships. By understanding the test requirements, applying these strategies, and practicing regularly, you can significantly enhance your ability to solve these questions effectively. Remember, expanding your vocabulary and paying attention to spelling are critical for long-term improvement. I hope these tips help you master the fill in the blank section of the Duolingo English Test. In our next video, we'll tackle the speaking section of the test. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our Duolingo English Test practice channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our test prep content. Happy studying, and I'll see you in the next video.